Well, well, well. Blake Lively, you are the biggest bully in Hollywood, and everyone knows it. Blake Lively is taking shots at me and my friends on the docket with her proof. She's provided proof of a smear campaign against her. We're going to get into that proof. We also have Britney Spears and her DUI drama that continues to unfold because now she has friends that are speaking out on her behalf. And then Savannah Guthrie getting lots of media attention now that she's back. But where was all this media attention when we were trying to find the lady? Where is the lady? This is No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. What's up, guys? Welcome on in, welcome on in, welcome on in, everybody in the club. Let's get it, get it, get it. Let's get it, get it, get it. What do we want to start with? Blake, Britney, Justin Timberlake, Savannah. Should we just get right into the Savannah of it all? The Nancy Guthrie, Nancy Benet Ramsey. Because that, to me, I know yesterday we saw Savannah return to the Today Show, which great, right? She's back. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Vanna's back. So I was cool. I was cool, calm, and collected when we were going on this whole, trip to the Today Show. And I was like, listen, I get it. At this point, Savannah returning. Actually, I should put this disclaimer out there. Remember, entertainment purposes only. I'm not here to incriminate anybody. I'm not here to defame anybody. But I do have some questions, and this is my opinion. So, and I also want to say, Savannah going back to New York, I'm not bothered by. I know a lot of people are like, why is she going back to New York? Her mom's still missing. It's been over a month. But it's been over a month. Her life has been turned upside down for nearly a month. She has young kids that miss their mother, right? They also have a mom. And so I do completely empathize with Savannah Guthrie and how challenging this must be for her family. And the fact that, like, at some point, there's nothing that you can do from Arizona, because if you could have done it, you could have done it 30 days ago and you still didn't. So at this point, it's fair to be like, okay, she's ready to just go home, be with her family. I'm sure she wants to be in her own bed again, like living with your sister and your brother-in-law and your brother for who knows how long. I don't know how long Cameron was there. I think Cameron may have dipped out early, but she was at least living with Tommaso and Annie the entire time that she was in Arizona. They were staying in that, what was it, an Airbnb that they had rented. So, I mean, I get it. I get you wanting to come home. I get you needing to be with your family again, like your kids and your husband. The Today Show, I was like, okay, she wants to address her colleagues. They've been very supportive of her. They've had her back. They've been, talking about her mother. They've been, from what we've heard, exchanging emails and cards. Okay, fine. I got that. But then when we saw that it was done right in the windows with the paparazzi outside, I'm like, they don't have any other place that they could have held this meeting. Like, we held it right in front of the windows where everybody can see exactly what's happening, which to me just felt a little, I don't want to say forced, but it just felt a little, showy. And I didn't want to believe that it was showy. I saw a lot of people being like, well, this looks obvious. And so here, look at it. Well, I mean, and granted, she looks visibly distraught, right? I'm not here to judge her grief. I'm not here to judge her grieving process. She looks distraught, right? Back on set, Savannah Guthrie returned to the Today Show studio Thursday for the first time since her mother, Nancy Guthrie, went missing. A spokesperson said that she thanked colleagues during the visit, but remains focused on supporting her family and efforts to bring her mother home. I believe that, right? And, she looks visibly distraught. These photos are very clear. I don't know how paparazzi got these photos. I don't know how they shot them through the window, especially because it looked like it was raining outside, maybe, or there were like some specs based off of other photos that we've seen. Let's see, do we have? Yeah, see, this is the video. Oh, here the anchors talk about Savannah returning. So, of course, they're going to milk this for everything. See, it was raining. Okay, so the windows were wet from what I saw in other photos. Like, that was the interesting part. And I think, see, how are they getting those clear of photos if they're only able to shoot from outside the window and the window is very clearly full of raindrops? It's just strange. Okay. So, whatever, not trying to judge. Then you keep going. And then it's like, boom, the Today Show confirms that Savannah Guthrie is planning to return to the show. Oh, okay. It's a little strange that we're out here just, preemptively letting people know, don't worry, she's coming back to work. Okay. So I'm thinking, well, maybe that's just the Today Show, right? Like the Today Show organized this photo op right in the windows. Like it probably wasn't Savannah. I don't know. Like I was like, maybe the Today Show is just kind of taking advantage of the situation, which also feels kind of icky because I don't watch the Today Show, but were they covering Nancy Guthrie to this extent when she went missing? When time is at the essence, when you should want all of this coverage. Then I saw this in Variety. It says, I wanted you to know that I'm still standing and I still have hope and I'm still me. I have every intention of coming back. I don't know how to come back, but I don't know how not to. You're my family and I would like to try. This is an official statement published in Variety from Savannah Guthrie as she addresses the Today Show staff. Okay. Why is the transcript of this seemingly private or intimate encounter, like I think we talked about it yesterday, was it being filmed? We know that they were on the Today Show set, on like the actual set with the cameras around them. We saw that cameras were on, but it's uncertain if cameras were rolling or if they were capturing any footage of this. I would assume they would have released that by now, right? All the anchors went on the air and Jenna and everyone came out and they're all talking about what it was like seeing Savannah. So they're clearly using it for, to drive the story on the show. But to me, I'm just like, this is a lot of coverage and this is a lot of media attention for just her return to the Today Show. And I get it. She's the name, right? She's the celebrity. She's the one of prominence. But for me, I'm just kind of like, huh? I'm confused. Wait, what does this do? Ooh, didn't mean to do that. I just saw the little button. I was like, oh, what does the little button do? But so yeah, like for me, that's the part that's so strange because I'm just like, where was all of these resources? Why weren't we utilizing them back in early February when time is of the essence, when there's an old lady that's missing and her life is on the line? That's when you would think that you would be doing every interview and every press conference and issuing every statement to the press. Now we're releasing statements to the press. Now the Today Show is investing in this. Like, it's just, we didn't see any of this when Nancy was going missing. Who was the one that was driving this story? The internet sleuths, the people on TikTok, the YouTube streamers. We were the ones that was keeping this story alive. We were the ones that were digging into leads. We were the ones that wanted to bring this woman home. And I'm not trying to say that the family didn't want to bring her home. I'm just saying the behavior is very interesting. Why not utilize all of these resources at the beginning of this investigation when, again, time is of the essence? I've always said she has the Today Show, she has NBC, she has so many resources that she could have utilized. And then the crazy part is not only did we not activate every resource that we possibly could, but then the resources that we did activate still weren't even substantial enough, right? FBI couldn't solve the case. Why? Because they were being, reportedly blocked by Sheriff Nanos. We have no press conference. Like, I feel like I've been a broken record saying these things over and over and over again, but it's like, it just makes me question things. And I feel like America, I mean, we had Nancy fatigue, we had Guthrie fatigue like halfway through February, and then we kept getting pulled back into this case again and again and again. And now it's just like, I don't know. I don't know where we go from here. I don't. It's just bananas. It's Sheriff Bananos to me that we don't have anything. Elizabeth says, "I'm content to give the family grace and assume there are reasons." Yes, but my cuppeth overflow, Elizabeth. I feel like there was an abundance of grace early on, and there was an abundance of empathy early on, and there was an abundance of desire to help solve this case. And then the more and more wackadoodle it became, my grace is wearing thin right now. I'm sorry, but it is. Savannah's husband is playing a big role in how this is all presented to us. That's his job. He's definitely steering the ship for her. Yeah. And that's what's interesting too. You find out Savannah Guthrie, what does Savannah Guthrie's husband do for a living? Let's find out what his official title is. Okay. So, he is a political consultant, advisor, communications consultant, businessman. Okay. Got it. And then I think she had a previous husband, Peter Orchard. I didn't even know she was married before. Okay. So Michael Feldman, a prominent American public relations consultant, FGC global partner, and former Democratic political advisor who served as traveling chief of staff for Vice President Al Gore. He is widely recognized as the husband of Today's Show anchor Savannah Guthrie. He worked for the Clinton Gore White House, served as an advisor to Al Gore, founding partner of the Glover Park Group. He is currently a partner of the North American co-chair at FGS Global, based in New York City. Married to Savannah Guthrie. They got married in 2014. They have 2 kids together. Got it. He's just he is not the Michael Feldman radio host, host of the show. What do you know? That is not him. It's a different Michael Feldman. Okay. I mean, we've known him as the cleaner for the Clintons, right? Did he really cleaner? Is he really the cleaner for the Clintons? Do we have confirmation that he actually worked for the Clintons, or was it just in Al Gore? He was a senior advisor and key liaison between the Clinton Gore White House and Congress, rather than in a custodial or clean. Oh, no, I didn't mean cleaner isn't a custodial role. He later co-founded the strategic communications firm FGS Global. There's no evidence to suggest he was a cleaner for the Clintons. He was a top staffer and congressional liaison for the Clinton administration. He co-founded Glover Park, which is now part of the FGS. Got it. He is a prominent political consultant and communications expert based in Washington, D.C. Got it. All checks out. So yes, Gwen, to your point, this is somebody that is very media savvy, that's very PR savvy, that's very good at cleaning up a PR mess, right? If there's a disaster, you call in somebody like Michael Feldman to come and clean it up. He's like a crisis PR person. So you would think he understands the optics of this stuff. You would think he would understand and help advise his wife, who's also had an extensive career on television. Too many questions. I mean, and also these are people that have insane resources, and yet we still can't find the lady. Danny Gossip Girl says, "Congratulations on your podcast deal with Podcast One." Thank you. Yes, I had steak and champagne last night to celebrate. I was very happy. I was very excited. Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you. It was an exciting announcement that I am now part of the Podcast One family. They have a number of different hosts. Stassi Schroeder's there. Adam Carolla's there. Yeah, a lot of stars that have shows with Podcast One now, and I'm one of the newest ones to sign over, which I'm very excited about. So definitely continue to listen, subscribe, hit the like button here on YouTube, guys. If you're watching this right now, and be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, subscribe on Spotify, all the places, all the things. Do it. Get it. Let's go. Okay. That said, let's pivot. Should we? I mean, I don't think I have anything more to add about Savannah or Nancy or like. There are no answers. There's nothing. I think the latest update as of this morning was Brian Enton was like, "Oh, I think there was like an internet outage at the time that Nancy got taken. So like the neighbor mysteriously has no footage of it." Also, super suspect, right? The neighbor had a Wi-Fi issue, and so suddenly the camera didn't record the time Nancy was stolen. I don't know. It's weird. Sounds like something a cleaner would know how to get rid of, or sounds like something someone corrupt on the investigation might be able to get rid of. Don't know. But what I do know is that I like to stay hydrated. I never like to be left thirsty between nonstop work and travel and trying to stay active. I can feel when water just isn't cutting it, right? And I need a little extra boost. And that's when I reach for Drip Drop to help me rebound faster, stay sharp, no matter what life throws at me. I got Drip Drop in my pocket, ready to go. Drip Drop is doctor formulated, proven fast hydration that helps your body and your mind work better, which is exactly what 2026 you needs. Think support for the busy days, long workouts, and everything in between. Drip Drop uses science-based formulas for rapid hydration so you feel results fast while you're getting 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Drip Drop is trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams because it's engineered to hydrate you faster and more effectively than water alone. Perfect if your New Year's resolutions were to have better habits and habits that actually stick, right? Because we want to actually get through it. I know it's March, but we're still in that Q1 hump, and you want to stay strong with your goals. Drip Drop has just dropped 0 sugar plus. What? It's my favorite. It's a breakthrough formula with advanced blend of 6 key electrolytes and 15 essential vitamins and nutrients, and no sugar or artificial sweeteners. It's delicious, complete package, right? They have 16 original flavors and 8 0 sugar plus options. They easily and seamlessly fit into my schedule, whether I'm waking up in the morning and want to get hydrated. Maybe I had a little too much to drink last night, or maybe I did a lot of sweating at the gym. And so I need a little post workout bump, right? Or even a little midday slump needs to be fixed. A little hydration can help get me back on track. Right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com and use promo code NOFILTER. That's dripdrop.com, promo code NOFILTER for 20% off. Stock up now at dripdrop.com. Use the promo code NOFILTER. Love it. Okay. Let's see. So, should we talk about Blake? Oh, Blake. Blakety Blake. Let's see. Blake Lively. Blake, the mean girl, never liked her. So this is what's interesting about Blake. So Blake is going after you, Zack. She's not necessarily going after me directly, but she's using my content to prove, or in what she believes proves, this smear campaign. Okay. So I do have to give credit, and credit is due where credit is due. And so I do have to give credit to Without a Crystal Ball, because she is the one that brought this story to the forefront. This was, remember back in January, there were a million different pages that were filed to the docket. And this was one of the pieces of evidence. It's an expert report from a professor named Ashley Humphreys. So Ashley put together this report for Blake that, in their opinion, or in her expert opinion, proves that this was the smear campaign. Therefore, based off of this expert opinion, this is why Blake Lively is entitled to her $100 million payout, right? She's like, I need all of my millions because these people said things about me. And some of them, in my opinion, aren't even bad things. Like, some of them are just like, huh? What? That wasn't even anything crazy. So here, I'll pull up the So there are so many items on this. We do also have a deposition, or a transcript of a deposition. I guess let's read through this and see what, we'll start with the deposition and then we'll get into the other key pieces that they share. But I am curious about what she says in this deposition. Okay. Okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Humphreys. Dr. Humphreys says, good morning. My name is Mitchell Schuster, and I'm an attorney with the firm. Okay, got it. Have you been deposed before? She says, yes. Did you do that? She says, yes. Oh, this is, I guess, something. Sorry. The transcripts are just bits of them. So sometimes as you're scrolling through the pages, they're not always, there are pieces that may be missing, because these are only snippets or excerpts that they use to prove their case. So it's not the entire deposition transcript, only the parts that the parties feel relevant to include. So the attorney asks Humphreys, so you said introducing new negative associations, and you're referring to Mr. Friedman's statements about her lying in a government document. And then you go on to say, and or strengthen existing negative associations. Was there existing negative associations with her in the public sphere? Humphreys says yes. were the existing negative associations about Blake Lively that were strengthened by Mr. Friedman. So it sounds like the argument being made here is that, sure, there was public perception about Blake Lively that wasn't favorable, but then Friedman came in and Friedman made it worse. Okay, got it. Professor Humphrey says, I would need to go point you to the impact analysis, but at a high level, I believe it's the association that she was a bully and some other associations that are congruent with the alleged retaliation campaign. What is the alleged retaliation campaign? This is what's so crazy, because all they've been able to pull up is this planning document where they're planning, where they have, it's basically a contingency and there are 3 different options. One of the 3 which could have been activated, none of which we believe were activated, because there's no proof that either of those 3 options were actually activated. And so here they're saying that Mr. Friedman, Brian Friedman, that when he made statements about Blake Lively, that only strengthened the media's negative association. Okay. And then I guess she refers to her impact analysis. And then the attorney asks her, Mr. Friedman, do you recall Mr. Friedman withdrawn? Do you recall reading that Mr. Friedman referred to Blake Lively as a bully? And she says, yes, I believe that is one of the statements, although we could go check to confirm. Okay. Do you know if Blake Lively ever, and then that gets cut off, and then she answered, here's another answer for us. It says, so what I can tell you based on Dr. Maslin's findings is that the phrase tone deaf experienced a dramatic uptick in the month of August, and I believe again in December. Maybe because her actions were fucking tone deaf. Like, are we this stupid in this day and age? Like, we all found the marketing of her tone deaf. Just because we all used that word doesn't mean that it was influenced in any way. It means, hey, maybe, okay, it's like this. Let's say a celebrity, or let's say Britney Spears, right? She got her DUI. We'll get into the Britney stuff in a bit, but she got her DUI, right? And then suddenly you're like, oh, and then her court hearing is on May 4th, right? So then you look at the social buzz and you're like, well, it's really interesting because on March 5th, when it was reported that Britney Spears got a DUI, a lot of people were talking about Britney Spears and they were using the terms erratic. It's like, well, yeah, because the bitch is fucking erratic. Have you seen her dancing videos? Have you seen her raccoon makeup? She looks crazy. So yeah, and they're like, oh, but we looked at the data, and then the term erratic came up again on May 4th. And it's like, well, what happened on May 4th? Oh, that's right. On May 4th was her court hearing. So yeah, it brought up the DUI news again, and people had a collective opinion. So what happened in August of 2024 and what happened in December of 2024? What could potentially have been tone deaf? Oh, maybe the fact that she was saying, grab your friends, wear your florals. She was promoting her little alcohol brand while she was promoting a movie about DV, which, I'm sorry, that's tone deaf. Okay? Fucking tone deaf. It's insane that we even have to break this down. And then what happened in December? Oh, that's right. She decided to sue Baldoni. And that's why people were like, tone deaf. She is tone deaf, because we remembered the promotion of the movie and it was tone deaf. It was a term that was used to describe her. And why are we all calling her a bully? Because the more that this goes on, the more we're seeing she's bullying people. Is this the smear? Are we in the smear campaign? This is it, guys. We're in the smear campaign right now. It's the smear campaign. We're in it right now. Oh, it's the dare deaf. Don't you dare call Blake a bully. Okay, so let's get back to Professor Humphreys and Dr. Maslin's findings, okay? Mr. Schuster says, okay, do you have any opinion as to whether a third party uses the word tone deaf is participating in, do you have any opinion as to whether a third party who uses the word tone deaf is participating in a smear campaign? We get an objection, and then she answers the question. She says, I can tell you at the aggregate level, the term tone deaf increased dramatically during that period because we were talking about it, because it was being reported on, and because guess what? We thought her behavior was, let me check my handy dandy notebook. tone deaf. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I didn't mean. I'm trying to be better about not using the Lord's name in vain. Okay, then Mr. Schuster asks her, "Do you know the person who used the term tone deaf?" And then Dr. Humphreys responds, or sorry, Professor Humphreys responds, "Which person? The one in the post you were just talking about." So if someone used the term tone deaf, and they have, and I can't find the exact post right now, and that person, what proof of any do you have? Not Dr. Mason. What proof, if any, do you have that the poster was participating in the retaliation campaign allegedly initiated by the defendants? We get another objection. And then she answers the question by saying, "So I testified previously. I do not offer an opinion on the retaliatory campaign itself." Oh, probably because you don't believe it. "I can tell you that the dramatic increase in the term tone deaf occurred in that period as cited in Dr. Mazelin's report. And I can tell you from my impact analysis that that association caused reputational harm." Yes, but you have to then. I'm not denying that all of our coverage may have hurt Blake's feelings, right? It may have, made her, it hurt her ego. That's the damage, her ego, right? But it's just, okay. She's saying based off of her analysis, right? Because all she was able to do was check the impact of these terms that were being used that are believed to have been linked to a retaliatory campaign that they still can't prove. Question is, okay, but if the tone deaf was caused by Blake Lively, isn't the reputational harm her problem? And then the witness says, Professor Humphrey says, I don't offer an opinion on that matter." Got it. So you just offer an opinion based off of how much reputational damage there was, but not necessarily at whose hand. Got it. "Are you aware that Miss Lively was the reason for an assistant director who worked on the film A Simple Favor for quitting her job that statements..." Oh, looks like we get another little cut. All right, so that excerpt is done. Then it picks up. It says, "One is my analysis. One is the alleged retaliation campaign." Okay, the plantation associate. Oh, now we're getting into Plantation Princess. Okay, it says the Plantation Association is not relevant to my assessment of Mr. Friedman's statements because I base the damages purely on his statements alone and the damage to his statements alone. Regarding part one, as we spoke about earlier, prior association with Miss Lively were likely of built into that before time period in Dr. Meselin's analysis. And so we are comparing the before period where that is already known to the after period where you see the dramatic rise in negative sentiment and in association, such as tone deaf, bully, and so forth. Because that's how the internet felt about her, that she was tone deaf and a bully. It's so wild. You can literally pay anybody to regurgitate whatever bullshit you want them to in court. This, I'm saying, is bullshit. For being a professor, you should be embarrassed. Who is this lady? Get me damn it. Her name's Ashley Humphreys. I looked her up. So she is a professor. And so it says Ashley, this is her bio. It says Ashley Humphreys. Well, I guess this is publicly accessible. I'm not trying to. My opinion is that I think it was a silly deposition, but the deposition's been made public. She has a public website. She has a public bio. Ashley Humphreys is a sociologist who examines core topics in consumer behavior and marketing strategy. Her research investigates the role of legal and cultural institutions in markets, the influence of language on consumer judgments of legitimacy, and the process of consumer co-creation. She's also the author. Oh, so she has a publicly published book. So she is a public person. She is the author of Social Media Enduring Principles, and her work has been published in the Journal of Marketing, the Journal of Consumer Research, and Sociology Compass. She's an associate professor. Got it. Okay. Cool. She's an expert. Got it. I mean, I wonder what she thinks of me thinking her testimony is bullshit. What is the reputational impact of me saying I think her assessment is bullshit? It's just my opinion, right? We learned from Ryan Reynolds that people are allowed to have opinions and they can't, they're allowed to feel how they feel if based off of the information in this case, publicly accessible. It's kind of crazy. Okay, let's see what else she has to say. Yes, because she says that the terms tone deaf and bully were caused a dramatic rise in negative sentiment about Blake Lively. Got it. Attorney asks, well, wouldn't it be reasonable to assume there would be a rise in negative sentiment if someone had previously done some bad things, or said some bad things? Wouldn't people be predisposed to say, huh, so now she is doing XYZ, but I remember a few years ago she did ABC. Yeah, I'm not a fan anymore. Wouldn't those things be completely irrelevant to Brian Friedman, to anything Brian Friedman did or said? And then we don't get an answer. Great. Are you aware that in August, from August 6th to August 9th of 2024, the film's premiere event, the theatrical release triggered a surge in public engagement, including fan commentary, influencer reactions, red carpet coverage, and opening weekend box office reporting? Would you agree with that? Professor Humphrey says, I would need to look at the underlying sources, but I don't have any reason to disagree with that. You would need to look at the underlying sources? There was a fucking movie premiere. Like, with Blake Lively. Okay. Let's check the sources. Somebody grab the bibliography. I mean, listen, these are smart answers for an expert witness. I'm not saying she's doing a bad job. She's just annoying the shit out of me. Okay, attorney asks, would those types of events increase attention to the film, the actors, and or the let me guess, she's gonna say I can't speak to that, and or the drama that had been going on? And she answers, she says, so what I observed in Dr. Meslin's report of this very issue, I take it, she's like, so I observed in my report of Dr. Meslin's issue of this very issue, analysis of this very issue, was not only there was increased volume, but there was also increased negative sentiment during the August time period. And there was increased negative association congruent with the alleged retaliation campaign. I mean, correlation does not equal causation, okay? But when there's already chatter around a highly publicized movie with a well-known actress and her A-list husband who's walking the red carpet, you don't need, to check all of the sources to use common sense and deduce what's happening right in front of you. But I get it. You're being paid by the Lively team to give this report, and you're their expert witness. I would imagine there may be some loyalty that may be felt to them. Okay, question. No. Okay, this one gets cut off too. Next question. Were they asked whether they considered her a liar? And then Humphreys responds, it was not in the public discourse, meaning it was not attached to her reputation. What? About her being a liar? Where they asked, this is the hard part, is when we only get the snippets, we don't know the context behind the line of questioning. So she says, it was not in the public discourse, meaning that it's not attached to her reputation, her being a liar. Okay. I think liar, liar, pants on fire. Now, is it on the record? Because I said it out loud on YouTube. Okay. Let's see. Okay. But it doesn't mean that people were not aware of it. Doesn't mean people didn't have underlying feelings. It doesn't mean that people didn't have underlying experiences about viewing her, reading about her, observing her. So it could have been something dormant that her initiation of this very public lawsuit brought to the forefront of the conversation. Isn't that a possibility? The witness says, I have no evidence to support that. Because you didn't look for evidence to support that. You were asked to find evidence to prove a smear campaign. And so that's what you did to mitigate reputational harm, because she's trying to prove damages. So she has no evidence to prove that people weren't aware of her doing these things. They didn't have underlying feelings before. She doesn't have proof. You know what's interesting though, and I will just to reference Without a Crystal Ball, because she did share one of the videos that she talked about, and she's like, they reference and they link out my video, and then she talks about the video, and she talks about how that video specifically went through all of the reasons and all of the things that Blake Lively did prior, and the things that Blake Lively was doing in real time that Katie Joy found and took issue with. So that's why for me, I'm like, huh. So she was actually explaining these things to you in the video that you reference as one of the impact pieces of content. And yet that you don't have any evidence to support this potential theory that the attorney is presenting in front of you. Suddenly your professor expertise just goes out the window and you're like, oh, well, now I can't speak to that because I don't have any evidence to support that. But you also didn't look for evidence. But then technically you could use that video that Katie Joy was referencing, which you link in your report. Could have used that. Make it make sense. Okay. I have no evidence to support that. Okay. Do you have evidence to support the Miss Lively engaged in prior conduct that would alienate members of the public? Not exactly, no. She doesn't have evidence that Blake Lively engaged in prior conduct that would alienate members of the public. And then they ask, do you think getting married on a slave plantation? Okay, so we don't get the rest of that, but you can clearly see, do you think getting married on a slave was probably a slave plantation? I'm pretty sure he asked, do you think getting married on a slave plantation impacted her reputation? And I'm very curious as to what Professor Humphreys had to say about that. Because obviously the public can feel a type of way about that. She's gonna be like, yeah, but that's not congruent with the terms bully and the terms tone deaf. I don't see that in the evidence that I've presented to you based off of Mr. Reslin's report that I read for you. Thank you. So then the attorney asks, we skip ahead, and the attorney says, but he doesn't make his statements until she initiated a very public lawsuit. So there would have been no reason for it to be in the public discourse. Very true. She initiates public lawsuits. Then you have Mr. Friedman's statements about the lawsuit. So he's saying cause and effect. And then Professor Humphrey says, so reputation exists in the public discourse. It's the association that are connected with one's name in the public sphere, as my analysis shows on page 92 and 93. For example, the association between Miss Lively and being a liar were virtually zero until after Mr. Friedman's statement. Nobody thought Blake Lively was a liar. You have no evidence that anybody thought Blake Lively was a liar prior to Mr. Friedman. She says the association between Miss Lively and being a liar was virtually zero until after Actually, wait, can we go back to my podcast? Because didn't I say that I thought she may have been lying fresh out the gate? I said that there were red flags fresh out the gate. So I think people thought Blake Lively was a liar once Justin Baldoni actually came out swinging and had shown context to the text messages that were cherry picked and presented in the New York Times. So I think, I don't know. I have questions. Okay, so he says that there's no association to Blake Lively being a liar until after. There was virtually zero. Virtually zero. Okay. And then they ask her, did you ever research Blake Lively's company that she started with her brother? Preserve. I didn't know we were getting into the Preserve. Did you research Blake Lively's company? It was called Preserve that she started with her brother. I did not. Why did you not? Weren't you supposed to be looking at Blake Lively's reputation? They said, were the lawsuits that were commenced against Blake Lively and her brother for creating a toxic work environment? I did not. Why did you not? Because these are people that are making allegations against Blake Lively that may or may not have been buried by Leslie Sloan. Then they ask, well, that's because at the forefront of a Google search. Oh, he said, well, because that was not at the forefront of a Google search, does that mean that it's not true? And then we don't get the rest. That was the last we get of it. Interesting. So that's what we got there with her. And then in her report, then we have this. Yeah, there were a number of things that Blake Lively did that made the public dislike her, and it was not in relation to anything other than her own behavior. Okay, so here we go. Here we have, that's me. And we have the dates that I posted these. Interestingly, the dates that I post these, 1/17/2025, 1/04/2025. This was around when Baldoni was fighting back. 12/27. This is right after the lawsuit dropped. This is literally days after. I wonder what I said in that 12/27. Let's see. And then these are the impressions that they got. And it's interesting because they're like, oh, wow, this one that came right after, literally after the lawsuit, not in August during the smear campaign, but in December. That's what's so crazy to me, is that this was done in December. It's what they say that got 1.1 million views. My other one got 5.3 million views. This one got 263,000 views, which, I mean, you could think that they're probably going after accounts, or they're going after posts that did really well. But you know what I found interesting, because they're listing the numbers here, and we'll get into each of these individual videos, but I was like, I wonder what, like, one of my biggest, what was one of my biggest videos that ever like performed the best on Instagram, because if that's what we're pulling from. And then I went and I looked, and this one, which is not listed here, what was the date on this? Okay, so this is the date on this one was February 3rd. Okay, so this was only a few weeks after. Okay, February 3rd, just maybe not even a month after this most recent post, right? 10 million views, 10.4 million views. And it was the yummy text messages. Why didn't we use that? Why didn't we include that post with the yummy text messages? The yummy text messages. What? That would have been a great one. That one got the most, and it's within the time frame, right? That one got the most, 10.4 million views on Instagram. If we're going to go through my Instagram posts, they also pull up my X posts. They also pull up and reference my TikTok videos. So I'm pretty sure there may be a YouTube video in there. I'm not entirely sure. So they have these where they reference us specifically, and they quantify like the numbers of, the engagement that it got. Here they link out. Look at, they even cover stories from the Associated Press, Business Insider, the Daily Mail, Entertainment Online, E-Online, Entertainment Weekly, The Hollywood Reporter, Page Six, ABC, CBS, CNN. CNN was in on the smear campaign, you guys. CNN was in on the smear campaign. My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. Good afternoon. You are so fun to watch and listen to. Thank you, Sarah Smith. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Wait, but I actually want to watch the videos here. So we're going to switch gears here. Let's switch to this tab. Okay, we still have it here. So this is, what was the date of this video? This is the December 27th video. Okay. This is the December 27th video. This is the first one that's referenced. This is literally days after the New York Times article dropped.
Facilitate and execute a PR takedown of Blake Lively, because that's what's alleged in her latest legal complaint against him. But outside of some out of context text messages and a lot of speculation, we don't have a lot of evidence to prove that. And I don't know about you, but I remember the hit to her reputation going down just a little differently. Let's revisit. So I remember it initially starting with people reading her behavior and some of the answers in her interviews for It Ends With Us coming across a little tone deaf.
It Ends With Us is in theaters now, so grab your friends, wear your...
I'm sorry, is this what she is saying is the smear campaign? This video? What? Interesting. Let's keep going.
Your florals and head out to see it.
Now, I know she wanted the promotion to be more focused on a story of hope rather than a story of a victim, but let's not forget she was also promoting her hair care line and her alcohol brand, which viewers also found a little tone deaf given the nature of the film. And then there was some of her other behavior.
Understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you. What's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
Like asking for like my address or my phone number or like my location share. Or I could just location share you.
And after fans pointed all this out, then this other reporter came forward and released this clip.
First of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
Which then prompted the internet to go into a frenzy. Which now legally begs the question, did Justin Baldoni do this in retaliation to take her down? Did Justin Baldoni...
That's wild. That this is the video that they use where I literally put her tone deaf behavior on display. Justin Baldoni didn't make Blake Lively say those things. Justin Baldoni and the Wayfarer parties didn't tell Blake Lively to answer those questions that way. Should I give them my home address, my location share? Like, what? This is what we're doing? This is how what? It's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What's going on in the live chat? Christina, what is happening? Oh, were there trolls that came in? Where they stands for Savannah Stan, hashtag Savannah Stan. Or is that a retaliation campaign? Isn't it interesting? We call out Michael Feldman and then suddenly the trolls just start blowing up in the live chat. Interesting. Michael Feldman, is that you? Are you sending bots after me now? Is this part of your cleanup job? Oh, I'm flattered. Please stop. Listen, I don't care to cover Nancy Guthrie anymore. What were the trolls? Were they saying I was being mean? Oh, I'm sorry. Everyone should sue Blake Lively for harassment. Sue me, Blake. I don't like you. It's so wild that she's literally trying to get all of this money. Oh, it's Blake's CIA guy. Oh, remember him? Oh my God, so much has happened in this case. I forgot about him. What was it, Shapiro? The former CIA guy that she hired, and everyone was like, "Oh my God!" So, in case Professor Humphreys was wondering, okay, let's switch. This is the other video.
On the set of It Ends With Us, Justin Baldoni dropped a number of text messages with crew members detailing just how difficult Blake Lively was to work with. Baldoni claims that since day one of production, she tried to push her weight. She would undermine their wardrobe director and make outfit choices of her own. And rather than showing up to her scheduled fittings, she drove up the budget by having them shuttle all of the clothes to her so that she could try them on. She would often rewrite her lines daily, and apparently she was having Ryan Reynolds, who has no official credit on the film, help her rewrite some of the scenes, which was unbeknownst to Baldoni and the screenwriter. She allegedly also inserted herself into the editing room, would have pages of notes, would have the editors fly to her so she could continue making revisions for her own cut. And when she was unhappy, she had the editor and a composer fired from the film.
So interesting that these are the videos that they end up going. Oh, this one's my favorite, though, you guys. This one, you're going to remember this from The Real Houses of Beverly Hills. Okay.
You are the biggest bully in Hollywood, and everyone knows it. You are the biggest bully in Hollywood, and everyone knows it.
So this is what's so funny about this is this post they reference not only here on Instagram, but they even make sure it's referenced on X as well. Because like I said, they pulled posts from X, my Instagram, my TikTok, maybe my YouTube as well. The YouTube links that are linked here, like there are so many links and they don't have a direct account attributed to them in the link. Like you'd have to actually go through every single one of those links to determine who's who. Yeah, it's just oof. Yeah, like here. Oh, I was trying to pull up them. Yes, like here you can see like the YouTube links, unless there's like a direct attribution to them, you just get this. And if you look at the links, you can't see any like names. It's crazy, but like Us Weekly got 1,500 impressions, and that's what she's mad about, that they got 1,500 impressions, 1,400 impressions on their YouTube video. Correct. 289 from Nusini. What is Nusini? Who is Dara Aura 1 with 513 views? Dara Aura 1? Can we see Dara Aura 1's? Oh, it's an X post. But 500 impressions? Really? 232 impressions from Zane72170560? What? Let's look up Zane7215. Like, what are these accounts? Like, this is what we're complaining about? That Zane 72170. World News. This is who she's worried about? This is the account that she's worried about. What? The impression bit is insane. That argument cannot survive. Imagine the implication they would have on other content creators. It would prevent people from ever being able to comment on people. It's crazy. Oh, wow. Is this Zayn? No. It's Zayn spelled Z-A-I-N. Latest from all over the world. This is what she's worried about. Gypsy Rose Blanchard admits sex life with Ken has slowed down. This is literally what she's worried about. What? Am I tripping? Some of these posts don't even have much. This is insane. This is literally what she's tripping about. What was the date on the post that she's referencing? 119. 119.25. Okay, this is all still 4. Oh man, there's so many posts every day. Okay, I'm not gonna be able to go back that far. They don't even post anymore. It's kind of isn't even active anymore. Okay. Whatever. I ain't going all the way back. But yeah, that's literally where we are. Babe on Facebook. Okay, this one got 45 impressions. 45 impressions. And it's a Facebook link. Justin Baldoni responds to Blake Lively's sexual harassment lawsuit. Claims we don't see what the rest of it is, but that's the post with 45 impressions. That's what she's linking to here. That's what harmed Blake Lively's reputation. That's why people believe that she's tone deaf, is because 915 The River went and posted on Facebook and got 45 impressions. 45. I mean, did we just fall out of a coconut tree? Like, this is crazy. Like, what? Elizabeth says Blake's out here trying to destroy free speech. Elle says because she has no proof, there is not any. It's so sad. That's sad. Yeah, right. Even though I'm in my positive love and light era right now, I still hate Blake and Ryan. Careful, Professor Humphreys is going to come out here and say that this is a new smear campaign. This shows you that you can buy an expert for anything. Truly, you really can. It's kind of wackadoodle crazy. Wackadoodle do time. Like I don't even know where we go from here. It's just so crazy. But yeah, she didn't like the Kathy Hilton. You are the biggest bully in Hollywood. Like that one really stung her because she pulled it up on. Oh, I guess because the word bully, I didn't even realize that. The term bully. She is a bully. I mean, we're seeing how she's behaving. I mean, but not only that, I knew somebody that used to work for Preserve, her company. And this was long before this lawsuit. I thought Blake was a bully. Let me be very clear. You can send this to Professor Humphreys. I thought Blake was a bully long before any of this, long before it ends with us, long before. I mean, Brian Friedman certainly did not influence me to think that Blake was a bully. I thought she was a bully based off of all the other things that I've heard and the reputation that she's had in Hollywood. I'm sorry you don't have evidence for that because you didn't go looking for it. But my goodness. Too bad Taylor was abetted by her participation. Yeah. Listen, Taylor's like, I'm going to go off, do my own thing. Shoe fly, don't bother me. Shoe fly, don't bother me. Shoe fly, don't bother me. Okay. That's Savannah Guthrie. That's Blake Lively. We'll see. But this is what she's using as justification. And yes, I'm one of the many people that has Donna got dragged into it as well. It was funny. The videos that they chose are quite hilarious. I mean, there was clearly a lot of AI that was used to pull these. I don't think Humphreys was directly going one by one and trying to pull all these. Or maybe she was, and she just, fell out of a coconut tree. Okay, let's pivot over to Britney and Justin Timberlake. Okay. Britney and Justin. We love Britney and Justin. So obviously we know Britney Spears was arrested. She was arrested on Wednesday for a DUI. She has her court hearing that's coming up on May 4th. She was under the influence of a cocktail of alcohol and other substances. We don't know what other substances they were. I mean, for all we know, Britney could have just been messing around. I don't know. But so her friend, former assistant, Sean Phillip, who I don't think really knows Britney that well anymore. I mean, I don't know. He says that he's her friend now, but he texted her and he said, "Are you okay?" And she responded and she said, "I'm okay." That was the headline of the day. Sean texted her. He said, "Are you okay?" And she responded and she said, "I'm okay." I mean, you know, yeah, Britney. You know, Britney, she's just messing around all over the place. Listen, we broke Britney, okay? That's my argument of the day. We broke poor Britney. Britney Spears, whatever happened to her, I think she's just not well anymore. But also, like, I was having this conversation with Molly and Donna last night. I'm like, it's giving crackhead, like not in a bad way. And I'm not trying to say this to be mean. And I know all that now the Savannah stands are going to come out and they're going to hashtag we love Britney, but it's giving crackhead, right? Like I live in downtown. So I've been places where I've seen like the crackheads are not in touch with reality anymore because they're just so, are we allowed to say crackhead anymore? Because I know like you're not supposed to call the homeless people, you're supposed to call them unhoused because apparently it's more offensive what you call them rather than actually getting them a place to live. Whatever. But so it's giving crackhead. I'm sorry. It's just it's giving drug induced brain scramble because as much as I feel for Britney, but I said this from the beginning. I love that I always end up exonerated because I always say the uncomfortable truth in the moment and back. Oh, someone said it's giving Adderall. Maybe. But so back at the beginning of the Free Britney movement, I was kind of like, I don't know if we like it's not that I don't think she deserves to be free, right? My argument back then was my concern is that when you take her off this structure, right? You take her off this plan, you take her off this medication, you take her out of whatever structure she had going on. Once you remove that, you're like throwing a teenager to the wolves. And not only that, but then this teenager has access to all of this money and they can freely spend it however they want. Could you imagine your 16-year-old just kind of going free and then they happen to dabble in substances? It's, it's crazy. I don't think that this is a clone of Britney. I think that this is genuinely just the trajectory Britney Spears' life has gone to. Because I know everyone's like, no, it's not her. The videos are AI. The videos are AI. It's a clone. It's this. It's that. It's not this. It's not that. It's not a clone. Okay. It's just somebody that unfortunately was super contained and controlled, and then suddenly was just freely let go. And there was no way to, get her to reacclimate into this world. And then you give her all this money and resources. It's really, really sad. And I think she didn't know how to handle. I think she didn't know how to cope before. I think the conservatorship, I'm not defending it because I think that it went too far. And I think that there were certain but then it's like you also have to just to play devil's advocate and add context to the conversation. When she says they wouldn't even let me have a baby, you have to then consider, well, was she well enough to have a baby, right? Like, could she have been, but then you also have to consider, back on the flip side of like, well, but it's her body, her choice. If a crackhead can have a baby, then so can Britney Spears, whether they're going to be good parents or not good parents is not really our decision to police. So that's where it gets a little hard. Cause she said like she wanted to take out her IUD. And so it just, it gets dicey. And that's why I understand this was a really tough and dicey situation. But I think people definitely took advantage of her. I think they definitely broke Britney, right? I think she was so confined and so unable to think for herself anymore. And, she was like the cage bird. She was stuck inside the cage for so long. And then once she got out, I don't think she really knew how to fly. And it just, I think, and maybe the meds help fry her brain. I don't know. People were saying something about some electrodes or they were like electrocuting her, which I don't know how true that is, but it's sad. It's sad. It's really, really sad. But I do believe that she was under the influence. I believe she got behind the wheel of the car. I believe she drove it and I believe she got caught. I don't believe that it's a conspiracy. I don't think that it's a setup. I don't think that it's a clone. I don't think that she's AI. I don't think any of those things. I think sometimes the simplest explanation is the realist, right? And in this case, She's somebody that has substance abuse issues, in my opinion. I believe she may have substance abuse issues. And she, is now having to pay for the consequences of her actions. But I think it's because she doesn't have a good support system around her. So, I don't know. But Justin Timberlake. So he, the other day, came out and he had an issue because obviously he was arrested for a DUI as well. And so he was trying to sue Sag Harbor because they wanted to release the body cam footage of him being drunk. And he was like, no. Nobody's going to remember what happened on June 18, 2024, when I was arrested for having one martini. That was it, just one martini. But it was still wrong, but I only had one martini. And so now he's saying that releasing this footage is an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. I don't know if is it considered invasion of personal privacy if you're in public where there's no presumption for privacy? You're literally on the street where you were arrested. And these are federal officers that were conducting their job and their duty to protect the public. I would understand if it were like private footage, right? Or even if it were like footage from inside the jail cell. That I could feel like is an invasion of his privacy because he's still entitled to privacy. And even though there are cameras in the jail systems, and even though technically the jails are paid for by the taxpayer, so they should have access to footage if they want it, I can understand the privacy argument more in that scenario, right? Like you don't need to be releasing footage of Justin Timberlake taking a shit in his cell. Okay, you can maintain that privacy. But do you have privacy if you are on like getting arrested out in public, Al says, is this a public case? We pay taxes, right? Yeah. Oh, did I say federal officers? I meant law enforcement officers. Sorry. If I did say federal, that was a slip of the tongue. Still waiting on Justin Timberlake to take accountability. I thought he did. I watched his press conference, the thing that Savannah Guthrie never did. I watched his press conference right after he got released. And he like apologized. He's like, listen, it doesn't matter how many. It was only one for me, but it doesn't matter because, yada, yada, yada. But so he is saying his attorney, so his mugshot was released, and that's where his eyes were glossy, and people were like, oh my God, he clearly looks like he's under the influence of something. But he told them he only had one martini, and he was following his friend home, and it was just crazy. But so, yeah, where is his statement? Oh, so this is what he says, or this was his statement initially, was saying that this is a mistake that I made, but I'm hoping that whoever is watching and listening right now can learn from this mistake. Even one drink, don't get behind the wheel of the car. So he did take accountability. He took accountability. He apologized. He told people not to do it, which you should know by now not to do it. But so this is the argument that he's making. Public dissemination of this footage would cause severe and irreparable harm to Timberlake's personal and professional reputation, subject Justin Timberlake to public ridicule and harassment, and serve no legitimate public interest. Excuse me, I'm the public and I'm legitimately interested. I would like to see the footage, right? I mean, at this point, we already know the arrest happened. We already know he was charged, and we already know that there's a mugshot. We already saw the mugshot. So I don't know what further public ridicule or harassment this would necessarily do. I don't know what personal or professional reputation hit he would take as a result of this. I feel like he wouldn't take much of a hit, right? Because the reputation's already been hit. Unless it's like unless it's Karen Huger. Karen Huger, remember when we saw her body cam footage? Lady was lit. That's somebody who I'm like, I would understand she not wanting to let that footage get out because she was toasted. She was roasted and toasted. Woof. She was lit like the 4th of July. That was wild. That footage was crazy. But so Justin Timberlake, I feel like none of their excuses really matter, right? I just personal and professional reputation, subject to ridicule and harassment, and there's no legitimate public interest. I disagree, especially with that last one. There's absolutely legitimate public interest. I am legitimately interested and I am a member of the public. All those in favor say aye. But so unfortunately, we are not seeing that footage just yet because a Long Island judge has blocked the cops from releasing the body cam footage of Justin Baldoni, according to the California Post. But it is temporary. It's only for now. Okay. There's a temporary restraining order that was issued by the county judge, restraining, telling the Sag Harbor police officers that they have to present a good enough argument. They have until April 9th, so they have a month. And the judge wants to know what their argument is. It needs to be a legit argument on why releasing the footage would be justified. Okay. So why should they have to release the footage is what the judge wants to know. I'm going to tell them right now. And you can, Harbor Police, you can take this statement. I am of the public and I have a legitimate public interest in this footage. I am curious because I want to know. And I feel like the taxpayers deserve to know. So release the footage. Release the Timberlake files. Is a public figure still a member of the public? Yeah, they're a public. Yeah, a public figure. Are you saying I'm not a member of the public because I'm a public figure? Is that the argument you're trying to make? I am still a person. Celebrities are humans too. It is justified. Oh my God, that's a good one, Al. It is justified. Only person look great is Lindsay Lohan. When she got arrested? Oh, and her mugshot, you mean? Where is Harbor PD? Is that on the East Coast, like New York? Just joshing. Nothing can beat. Oh, I know. Reese Witherspoon. Do you know who I am? See, there we go. If Reese Witherspoon's video can come out, then there's no reason Justin's. Oh my God, Reese Witherspoon. I forgot about her arrest. Can we pull that up? Reese Wither. Oh, here we go. Oh my God, you guys. What a throw. This is 12 years ago. Okay. Are you ready for this throwback? We are throwing it back. Throw it back, Tatiana.
Ma'am, what did I just tell you to do?
I'd like to know what's going on.
He's under arrest. If you don't get back
I'm
there,
a U.S. citizen. I'm allowed to stand on American
Actually, you're
ground
not
and
allowed to
ask
do anything
any
else.
question I want to ask.
go ahead. Come on.
You better not arrest me.
Yes,
Are
ma'am.
you kidding me?
No, I told you.
I'm an American citizen.
I told you to get in that car and stay in there, didn't I?
This is beyond.
I
This
told
is
you.
beyond.
You fight with me. I promise
This
you.
is harassment.
It's
You're
a-
harassing me as an
I've
American
given you
citizen.
every show.
I have done nothing against the law.
Reese, can you please quit? Yes, you have. You didn't obey my
I have to obey your orders?
Yes, you did, Reese.
No, sir, I
Reese,
do not.
tonight. Reese.
Absolutely nothing.
Reese.
I'm now being arrested and handcuffed?
Yep.
Do you know my name, sir?
Don't need to know.
You don't need to know my name?
Not quite yet. I'll get
Oh,
that
really?
information.
Okay. You're about to find out who I am.
That's fine. I'm not real worried about you, ma'am. I done told you how things work. You want to get out and get up in my investigation? That's okay.
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, guess what? We have a law for that. It's called obstruction.
I'm
Welcome to
obstructing
America.
your justice.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
I'm being anti-American.
Yep. Go ahead, sit down.
Wow.
Sit your butt first. It'll be a lot easier on you.
Interesting. Arresting me.
I tried. I'm sorry. I absolutely 100% tried. I have nothing to do with that. I know.
Whew. Oh my God, what a throwback. I love watching old home videos, you know? When this was 12 years ago. Is Reese going to come after you for bullying? She's high and mighty, isn't she? Yeah. She did apologize. She did. She took accountability. She did a full sit down. What was it on the Today Show? I guess Reese learned from it because she became a better person, but this video is fine. Yeah, she's so much of a better person now. Like no shade to her. What a time though, you guys. What a time to be alive. That was what a time. Everybody getting arrested at that point. Okay, I think this is where I leave you. I think this is it, you guys. I think this is the end of the road for us. I do love you. I do appreciate you. I do wish you nothing but the bestest of times this weekend. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great weekend. Zach, maybe the FBI did not want so much media coverage. The FBI wasn't leading this, and the FBI, why wouldn't you want more media coverage? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. Love you guys. I will talk to you on Monday. Have a great weekend. We are still going to send love to the Guthrie family. We're going to pray for them today. Say, Lord, please help them find some resolve. Let's hopefully we get some answers so that the world can collectively move forward with peace, knowing that this woman is at least with her family and buried, and they can move on with their lives. Okay. Thank you. Love you. Appreciate you. That's all the drums that we covered today. I will talk to you on Monday. Ciao for now, guys. Bye. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, do all the things. New episode of the Tory Tapes airs this Sunday. Don't miss the Tory Tapes. We go to New York this Sunday. Tune in. All right. Love you. Bye.